you know, obviously Tyler played at a really high level, and you know, I thought Rondo was just so much more aggressive and comfortable being aggressive tonight, and that was great. Anytime that he's probing like that, Tyler's going to roll to the rim and be available, and Tyler's got that nice little flip shot at 5 or 7 feet where he can shoot it with either hand, and you know, he doesn't have to get all the way to the rim to finish. So Rondo looks for him, and that's a good thing.
They started to make a run early in the fourth, and then you guys had like a 13-0 answer to it. I mean, are they starting to maybe learn a little bit about responding?
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's, you know, sometimes that you have to evaluate it for what it is, because sometimes guys hit really tough shots to get back in the game, and sometimes you miss some shots, and there's all kinds of reasons why you lose a lead or a lead dissipates. But I do think I think from the emotional standpoint, we were much more solid, and we also we kept the pace at, you know, we kept the foot on the gas the whole time, and I thought that was really good.
Was that a point of emphasis over the last couple of days to keep that tempo and try to maintain that rhythm during the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a point of emphasis the entire year. You know, we've spent a lot more time on. You know, we've even done some live stuff and shoot-arounds, which I've never done before, but, you know, just to try to get ourselves even more locked in for those moments, and probably continue to do that here and there. But I think that, yeah, it's an emphasis.
Coach, it seemed tonight the physicality, the aggressiveness that you've talked about wanting to see, it seemed there was a steady dose of that throughout the game.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought so too, and I think anytime you're in, you know, your two interior guys, you know, go 24 and 14 and 17 and 13, that's a good sign of that.
Was it just a matchup thing, or was there something that just they were able to just be more effective tonight?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, those guys are good players. Jordan Hill had a perfect stat line at halftime. Looks like he still had a really good stat line, 6 for 6. But you know, our guys were clearly, you know, ready to go, and you know, played pretty well. I thought we had stretches where we went to a lull, which we've got to fix. But for the most part, you know, played with the same passion and energy the entire game.
Brad, you already mentioned Rondo's aggressiveness tonight. He took a season-high 17 shots from the field. Is that something? Have you been? Obviously, he's struggled a little bit with his shot lately. Is that something you talked to him about, or is that he kind of play through that on his own?
We met for a few minutes this morning after shoot around, and had a couple of thoughts that are real brain surgery to share with him. But the main one was that I felt like he was waiting for the game to materialize around him more than just attacking the game. And so it was really good. I thought he attacked great tonight, and you know, every time he shot it, I was like a fan saying go in, right? So he hit the 2 at the end, and you know, I was going to keep running stuff so he could get that rhythm and feel good about himself and shoot it in. And you know, I'm glad he did that. He really played aggressive, and sometimes even though he didn't make every shot, it sets the tone for how your team plays, and it puts you in an attacking mindset.
There was a stretch in the third quarter where Kobe scored like 3 straight buckets, and it looked like he was trying to get him out of the hole by himself. What was the approach with him? Because I feel like you had Jeff, Avery, and Evan toward the end there guarding.
Yeah, so we just decided that we're just going to keep rotating guys. If I get a foul, somebody else is going to guard him. You get a foul, somebody else is going to guard him. We're just going to keep rotating fresh bodies onto him. You know, I thought Jeff wore down a little bit, guarding him in both the third and fourth quarters. I mean, because it's taxing to guard him, and so we didn't want to do that to anybody, especially if, you know, the game was going to come down to the wire. We wanted to keep, you know, freshness. And then the other part about that is you kind of get a glimpse of who you think might have a chance of guarding him, which that's all you really have is a chance, because he's still going to get a shot up. He's still got a good chance of making them.
Coach, you kind of hinted before tonight's game that this starting 5 isn't necessarily set in stone or anything like that, but how does a performance like Tyler's play into that equation?
Yeah, I mean, played well played really well. So I don't anticipate changing it by tomorrow morning's practice.
And then secondly, when Tyler can roll to the basket like he does off pick and rolls, how much pressure does that put on a defense and open things up a little bit for Rondo when he's driving? Just seems like it really puts a defense in a bind.
His hard rolls help us. His hard rolls help us. They help us more when there's a guy that can shoot threes next to him as the 4. So, you know, I think that's a positive. So we need him to continue to do that. You know, and he's still a puppy in this. I mean, he's a young guy. He's only in his 3rd year, and you know, I had forgotten until today that he played for Byron in Cleveland. And you know, I don't know if last week was his first start or not, but it has to be close. So he's still learning and growing, but he's getting better, getting some confidence too.
Marcus Smart didn't play at all. Was that a decision you made before the game?
You know what? I knew that I was going to go into those 10 guys that I went to in the first half and then see how it went from there. He has the clearance to play. I did not think he looked great from a rhythm standpoint either Wednesday night or Thursday night. We'll practice hard tomorrow, and hopefully he'll feel better. I didn't want to just throw him in there at the end of the game. I didn't see any reason to do that. So, you know, it was more my feel based on Wednesday night's play. You know, I think he's a really good player. I think he's a big part of what we're doing, but, you know, I'm not going to throw him out there if I don't think he's ready to roll.
Brett, what are those conversations with Rondo like? I mean, there's only a 9-year age difference, so there's no, you know, you putting your hand on his shoulder and kind of that, you know, it's like a big brother thing.
Just like you and I talking. I mean, I jog on the treadmill. He was standing around. Hey, Rondo, you know, this is what we need to talk about. Hey, see you later. Yeah.
But you guys have.
That's it.
You guys have.
Hold on, am I supposed to say something smarter than that? Okay.
But you guys have had these conversations since you took the job. It seems like your relationship with him.
Yeah, I mean, that's not like, I don't want to make it more than it is. That's what coaches are supposed to do. You're supposed to take time and talk to people, not just walk in, conduct a practice, and leave. So, you know, hey, I've had many of those meetings where the guy goes out and doesn't play well, but it has nothing to do with me. He clearly was disappointed in how he played Wednesday. He expressed that to all of you. He expressed that to me, expressed that to his teammates. It's hard to have an off day after that because you just want to be back in the gym. He was good in shoot-around today, and you felt like he was going to play pretty well. I don't think I had to say anything.